There you go, Levon. I just heard the voice. Good
Yep.
morning.
You
Good
have to hit
morning.
continue now. I mean, we have to hit continue. I don't know that you have to do anything, but we have to hit continue.
Right, right. Well, I'm glad you're all here today. 2 weeks ago, we went over an arrangement for on a clear day, which was kind of fun. I thought it was fun anyway. Some of the things we talked about was making sure when you use the piano sound that you use the sustain feature. However way you're going to obtain that, the easiest way, in my opinion, is to put it on the pedals, because then you don't have to deal with the foot switch so much. It's easy to just to put your foot up and down. We also utilize the virtuoso and the fill and the lower right split as well. So, has anyone recorded that would play for us?
I have it, Joanie.
Okay.
Scary. Scary.
Hi, Gary. Very nice. Very nice. Good job, Gary.
Thank you.
What was that rhythm that you used?
It's called Light Latin.
Ah, okay. Very good. That was nice.
I had trouble doing those split octaves.
You did?
I did, so I kind of cheated a little bit. On the first time through, I used the octave harmony, and the second time through, I did it myself.
Okay. That'll work. And I certainly appreciated your augmented chords. I heard them.
Good.
Great job. Great job.
Thank you.
Someone else?
Joanie, this is Levon. I have it recorded.
Okay, Levon, great. Good job. Very nice. And what was that rhythm, Levon?
That was basic Latin 1.
Basic. Okay. Okay. All right. And I don't know if I mentioned this last time 2 weeks ago or not, but on the last note G, you can play a GAG like that. Just gives it a little final touch there. Okay. Anyone else? Very nice. No one? No takers? Okay. Then we'll go on. Today, we're going to get to have some fun with rainy days and Mondays. And we're going to do a little bit of a skill set of playing more than one note in the right hand at times. So on line 2, we have measure 1 is an E. And on the 4th beat, I'm going to play a D. And then I'm going to play a, I don't think I wrote that right. Then I'm going to play a C sharp in the beginning of measure 2. And hold them. That is, hold the E in the C sharp. And then on line 3, measure 1, that's where we're going to apply the fill. Okay. On measure 3, line 3, I put a dot next to that note G. So I want it to be a dotted half note. And then I'm going to play eighth notes A and B. And that gets us up to the last line, which the right-hand note is C. Okay, everybody with me so far?
Could
All
you
right.
repeat?
No, would you repeat those, please?
I'm sorry.
Would you repeat that line, please?
Line 3?
Second line. Oh, I thought you was on the second line.
No, I just did line 3.
Oh, I was all mixed up then. Could you
Can you do
repeat
the second line again?
Okay,
2 and 3?
that's okay. Let's just go back. Line 2, measure 1. You're going to play the E, but then we're going to play a D on the 4th beat. And then we're going to go in the next measure to a C sharp. So you're actually holding the E and the C sharp together. Then
Upper
on
or-
pardon?
Upper or lower C sharp?
Lower. Then I'm going to go to line 3, measure 1. I'm
Line
going to
three.
use the fill.
Okay. Mixed up.
And then on measure 3 of line 3, I'm going to make that G note a dotted half note. And my 4th beat will be 2 eighth notes playing an A and a B, as in boy. And that gets us to line 4, which takes it to a C. In measure 2, instead of the F chord, I'm going to detain that. So I want to play there an A minor 7th. And then on measure 3, instead of D minor, I want to play an F chord. And on the 3rd beat, which is a C note, I'm going to play G as in George 7. Okay, we're going to the second page now. Line 1, measure 3. This will be fun. This is kind of a walk down chord pattern. So on the first beat of measure 3, I'm going to play D minor, D as in dog. Second beat, I'm going to play E minor. Third beat, I'm going to play F major 7th. MAJ 7. Now on line 2, instead of the C, I'm going to play a G suspended, SUS. And then in the next measure, I'll go ahead and play the G7 or G. So we're just going to have a little suspended chord there first.
What's the notes for the G suspended?
I knew you were going to ask me that. Hold on a second. I'll get it for you. It's G as in George, C, and D as in dog. It's the C
Okay,
that's the
thank you.
suspension.
Okay.
On line 2, measure 4, the last measure, I'm going to do a little virtuoso there. And that's it for that page. Going on to the last page. First chord listed is G7. I changed it to a D as in dog minor. And in measure 2, I'm going to play a G chord and I'm going to echo the first measure. So I'm actually creating a new measure here. I'm adding a measure. So after I've done my echo on the lower right split, Then I'll play in my new measure that I just made. Then I'm going to play the E7 there. That E7 is an important chord because it's a transitional chord going into the bridge. That is also where I'll change my sound. So SS for style setup, or P with a circle around it for preset during that measure of a rest. Make sense? On line 3, we have a G7 in measure 3. I'm going to make it a D as in dog minor. On line 4, the first measure is a rest before we return to the beginning. I'm going to play a G7 chord there, and I'm going to transpose up one touch. Okay, if you move over to the coda, that last measure, I made every one of those notes its own measure. So what I'm doing is I'm making it longer because I'm coming to the end of the tune. This is the coda. So each note's going to be its own measure. And on the last note on the coda of that line, I play an F chord there. So I'm bringing the F chord in a measure early, if you will. And the very last note of the song is a G, and I played also a C above it. And I ended with the C chord, but I played a C major 7th. If you've been coming to Joe's Tricks of the Trade class, we've been talking a little bit about color chords and which chords work really well for that. And this is a good spot at the end of the song to end on a major 7th instead of just the C chord itself.
Joanie,
Yes.
I have two questions.
Okay.
You said you put in an F chord in the coda, but I thought you said at the end, but it's not at the end. So where does it go?
The last note on the first line of the coda is
Yeah.
a C.
Yes.
That's where I put the F chord.
Okay. Got it. And the other question is, I didn't have the right book with me, so I had to run away for a minute. I missed what you had for line 1 in the first page, what you did there.
I didn't do anything to line 1 on the first page.
Okay.
So you
So
didn't
then-
miss anything.
So you just started with the D note, first measure, second line.
Say that again, please.
You just started with the D note next to the E on the first measure of the second line. That's the first thing you,
No,
added.
there's an E.
right. And then after that, you said you went down to D and then.
I
just-
held the E, I played a D for the 4th beat, and then I took it down to C sharp for the first beat of the next measure. So I'm actually playing an E and a C sharp, like
Got it.
this. Okay,
Okay, thank you.
here it is. So I'll be playing a little bit of a, just, excuse me, an interval of a third there. So what I have found And if you have a marquee, grand marquee aria, or a symphony, yay! I'm so excited about that. Um, a nice rhythm that really works with this is The Way We Were. And what I did in using The Way We Were is I also used alter style, and I also used intro 2. I listened to quite a few different rhythms to find ones that worked for this, and it needs a certain kind of accent, if you will, and it's a moving kind of side to side. So a lot of the ones that I tried, it wasn't giving me the feel for the song like I wanted. One that I did find, if you don't have any of the upper end, you don't have a symphony, smooth piano works with this nicely as well. So you could try that. Some of the other smooths will work. And then there's some that just don't have the sway to it that you want it to have.
Joanie,
Yes.
on the aria, I was trying it, and it has song set up. It uses Classic Beach, which works.
Classic Beach. I think I checked that out, if I recall. This was several days ago, and I couldn't understand why they did that. But let me find it. Classic Beach. Yeah. I don't know that song that way. So I don't think that would work for me. But you can certainly give it a try. That's why we have all the nice differences that we have. Let me get back to here we are, The Way We Were. Okay. So I'm going to play it first with The Way We Were, and then I'll go and show you also smooth piano. This is not a complicated song by any means, as you can see.
What tempo are you using for Way We Were?
I'm sorry?
What tempo are you using with The Way We Were?
So the tempo that comes on is 67, but I'm playing it in cut time. So this is what it would sound like in cut time. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sense?
Yep.
Otherwise, if you don't do it in cut time, this is what you're faced with. Which is just a little bit too slow. Yeah. So if you just do it in cut time, you'll be in good shape. So let's give it a try. I'm on The Way We Were for the style, and I'm going to be using intro 2 because I don't want to have a signature rhythm with a different song. Make sense?
Yes.
Is there a question? No? Okay, good. And again, I have alter style on. Really nice ending too. Very, very nice there. What was I going to say? I forgot what I was going to say. I very much like the sounds that were offered in. Oh, I know what I wanted to say. When you do the fill, I don't know if you heard it or not, but the drummer kicks in on the fill a lot like the original. Here's how that is. Did I go the whole time and you couldn't see what I was doing? Did I really do that?
Yes, you did.
Okay, here's the fill. You hear the drummer? Let me take the Orc Plus down so you can hear better. That's regular. Here's the fill. So I really like that. And once again, of course, I'm turning off my flutes on the lower left. No flute tabs. Make sure they're off. And I have 2 strings on instead. Okay. Questions?
Yeah, Joanie, on the second page, the last measure at the top,
Yes.
was there a change of chords for that A note?
No.
Oh, so
You're going to stay on F major 7th.
okay, all right.
Okay, good question. Good question. Okay, so now I'm going to go to smooth piano. I thought those sounds, I used rhythm presets or style setup, if you will, and I thought the sounds that are offered on that particular rhythm are amazing. They're really great. The quality is very, very good. So now I'm going to go to smooth piano. Here, not smooth piano. Yeah. Make sure you get the smooth piano 4/4, not 3/4, because you'll have a choice of both. If you accidentally hit the 3/4, your mind is going to go bonkers trying to play this rhythmically. Okay, so here's the smooth piano. We'll do some of that for you. That's intro 1. This is intro 2. I prefer 1 because it's a little fuller. It's a little bit longer. But it's your choice, whatever you like. Here we go. Now, the smooth piano rhythm is kind of interesting because every once in a while we see things and we say, why did they do that? So, rhythm preset number 3, or style setup, if yours is called that, comes on with a pipe organ. I don't think you want to use that. And remember, the name of this rhythm style, I just find this funny. The name of the rhythm style is smooth piano, right? Well, guess what number 5 is? It's pizzicato strings. Not exactly smooth. So you have to look carefully and decide what you're going to choose. I don't know how that happened, but anyway. So I used preset number 2 the first time I changed. And the interesting thing about preset number 2 is it automatically puts on drum variation. And I don't really care for that. Here's the rhythm itself. And here comes drum variation on it. Listen. So it goes from a smooth piano to a da 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 da. And so I chose to turn the drum variation off. I did not care for that at all. You'll have to decide if you like it or not. Which one did you like better?
I preferred the second one.
Did you?
The smooth piano.
Really? I like the first one.
I like the first one also. Yeah.
Yeah, that's an awesome rhythm. So there's not too much work for you to do with this. It's just to give you a little breather and have some fun. But we're trying to use the features that we have usable that will make you sound good. For instance, virtuoso, the fill, transpose. These are all things that will enhance the arrangement without you having to play any better or any more than what's written. That's the idea. I'm going to get you to sound as great as you can without having to do too much work. So for that, I'm guessing that you're happy. Right?
Yeah.
Any questions? No, it's pretty straightforward, isn't it?
Yeah,
After I
nothing
worked it
difficult.
out, and I fooled around with rhythms a couple days last week just to say what there has to be more choices than that. And obviously I don't have an aria, so I can't try out the possibilities that probably exist on that. But I just didn't really, I just wasn't happy with I tried soft country, I tried soft gospel, and I just couldn't find the beat that I knew in my head I was looking for. So hence I went to smooth piano instead.
Joanie,
But the newer rhythms I love, obviously brand new rhythms are great. Yes.
yeah, on the last page where you have a D minor for the first measure, and then you have a G with the A, G, G note. And then you had an
What
E,
line are you on?
the top line,
Okay.
D minor is, and then you go to the G, the second
Mhm.
measure, and then you put an E7. Are you playing any notes when you play that E7?
No, I'm changing my sound there.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you.
That's a transitional chord that's very necessary for the bridge.
Okay.
When you go to E7 and then you go into A minor,
Okay,
that's a very important chord, that E7.
okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Good question. Anything else? No? Did you have a good time?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Joanie,
yes.
on the coda, when you said that you made measure for each of the notes, was that on the last line or did you start on the first line of the coda? And
The
on
first line of the coda, like, so the high F,
Uh-huh,
I made that its own measure. And
Okay.
then the high E, its own measure. And then the
Okay.
C, its own measure. And this
Okay,
is
thank-
another one of these songs in Hal Leonard. The ending is actually so to end the song, it goes down A G. I don't want that. I want something that feels more final. So I went. So my top note is a C, which is more final than going down to a G.
okay.
For those of you who are a little more rebels out there, you should love this hobby because you're allowed to break all the rules you want to. You can do whatever you like. It's awesome.
And you won't care, huh?
Well, there's parameters, obviously, but you know, you have a lot of leadway to do how you like to hear it. That's for sure.
Did you
Anything
use the
else?
second ending? Or did you
In
have,
which rhythm? Which rhythm?
no, did you use the last, press the ending button at the end of the song, or you just played it with what's here? Did you
No,
press it?
I use the ending button.
Oh, what ending did you use?
On smooth piano, it was intro and ending number 1.
Okay,
On the way we were, it was intro and ending number 2.
okay. Thank you.
Because the way we were is a signature style for the song, the way we were, and you don't want to hear Barbara singing in the beginning
Right.
and then go play a different song. That's probably not going to work for you too well. But as you do go through these sounds and try different sounds and setups, be aware of that drum variation and see if there's places you like or places you don't. In a lot of cases, it's not a preference for me at all. One of the reasons is because typically in a lot of the rhythm styles, the drum variation is more harsh than the actual style itself. So I, a lot of times, don't prefer that, especially in this song. It's a beautiful song. Okay, everybody good?
Good.
Oh, good.
Good. Well, I hope you
good.
enjoy it. Thank you for being on today in Zoom. And I
was a
will be
long 2
seeing you
weeks
next
without.
Tuesday. Is there a
It was
comment?
it was a long 2 weeks without.
I know. I know. I missed you guys too.
I was going into withdrawal.
Well, we don't want you to do that, Gary.
What song will be on Tuesday?
That's a good question. I think it's going to be, what's the last one I have?
Lullaby of Bird.
Lullaby
of
of Birdland, I think. Don't hold me to it.
What is it?
Lullaby of Birdland.
Are you, for that song, are you using the 2-page version or the 3-page version?
That's a good question.
Because people that sent them to me sent me both. I have both versions.
Mine's a 3-page version.
Okay.
What book is that in?
That's a good question. Somebody want to help me out there? It's in 57 and 316.
16.
It's in the key of C, but the first chord is A minor, the relative minor.
I have
So.
to get somebody to send that to me.
I went to do that a couple weeks ago, and at the time I was trying to work it out. Nothing was striking me at all. So I put it aside and said, we'll go to something different. Hopefully that won't happen this week. Otherwise, I'll be having to pull from a different song. We'll get the creative juices going and see what we can do. And a lot of you probably will know this song, you just don't recognize the title.
I tried playing it. I don't recognize it at all.
Really?
No.
Okay.
It's an old one.
It's an old one?
It's an old song.
Okay.
I guess I'm too young.
1964 isn't too old.
There, I just saw in the chat there, hopefully you noticed it, but Scooter put up her email for anyone who might need the music for it. She's giving you her email and telling you that she
Yeah.
would be gracious enough to send it to you. Thank
Yeah.
you, Scooter.
Thank you. Thanks, Scooter.
All righty. Well, you guys have a great, blessed day and make a lot of music. And call me if you have any questions at all. Okay?
Thank
Hey.
you.
Okay,
All
thank you.
right.
Johnny.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Thank you.
You too.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you.